Your Excellencies and other distinguished guests, colleagues, my fellow Jamaicans, welcome. Why are we here? On Monday, December 2nd, both major newspapers carried an editorial based on the Prime Minister's recently announced intent to build 6 STEM centers. My interpretation of those editorials, as well as comments from our other Jamaicans, is that while we understand the urgency of getting up to speed where STEM is concerned, the issue in debate is how do we get there from here? The presence today of a room full of businessmen is very gratifying. It indicates an understanding that STEM is not just an education issue. I think we all understand that this is a workforce issue with implications for all our industries. My introduction to STEM concept followed our request from the Micro University College for support in raising funds for a national STEM center. At that time, they shared some figures about the performance of our students in the terms of sciences, and I think Nicole has mentioned a few. And the numbers are frightening. The current sitting pass rate of mathematics at CSEC is 62%. As Nicole said, this represents less than 40% of grade 11 cohort who are leaving the secondary school system. This means that at current levels of performance, a significant number of the Jamaican workforce will lack essential mathematical skills and competencies. As you heard before, less than 15% of the 1,800 teachers in the secondary system only 15% of them are qualified to teach the sciences. Every year, about 40,000 students sit the CSEC exam. Of this number, only 5,000 sit a science subject, which is just about 12.5%. These numbers piqued my interest from the point of view of the economy. Everybody is saying we can't get growth. And the 4 in 5 seem to be evading us. But we are not going to grow the economy without the scientists and the engineers. We can't get growth because we are not innovating. Take agriculture. We look at agriculture. Every year, the food bill is about $1 billion. On Sundays, the rice and peas are every day of the week, the rice and peas that we are eating. I don't know if you know that the coconut milk is imported from Thailand, because the lethal yellowing has hit our coconut for years and we have not been able to take control of it. Most of the ginger tea that we are having is also from Thailand and other countries. It's as simple as that. If we look at manufacturing, a major challenge for manufacturers is the high cost of electricity. And if we are going to be able to convert garbage into renewable energy, we need the scientists. If we take tourism, tourism is one of the biggest drivers of the economy. But if we are going to build out a cable car to transport tourists from Papine up to Blue Mountain, we are going to need scientists and engineers. And if we are going to build an amusement park out at Tiemanas, we are going to need STEM. Compared to a country like India, which you have just heard, which STEM is a culture, India, which is now on par with first world country in terms of technology, we are miles away from tapping into the digital economy. We are working today the same way we worked 20 years ago, with heavy manual, low skill and low paid labor. Many of the jobs will not be around in the next 5 years because it will be most effective to use artificial intelligence. How will our factories compete against factories that are employing robots for routine jobs? some months ago, and how Butch and Howard and myself got here, we started looking at what we could do. So we got together with the AFJ, Wendy Hart and Karen Chung, and the American Awards, Gala Awards this year, we started a fundraising. There we also met Mr. Marlon Lindsay, who is a Jamaican living in the United States. Marlon has been coming and going, and you'll hear from him. And so all of us have been talking to it, running to Garfield Grandison, which brought him to me, and we decided, let's do something. Out of that discussion, we have formed a task force. And I would just like, for identification, we have this morning the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Grace McLean. Dr. Grace McLean, if anybody don't know Dr. Grace McLean, you could just raise your hands. Miss Mina Israel, as we know, she's the special advisor to the UWI Vice Chancellor. We have Dr. Ashburn Pinnock, who is the president of the Mico University College, and Dr. Benjamin, Dean of the Faculty of Technology. We have Professor Michael Taylor, Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at the university. And of course, we have Karen Chung, Garfield Grandison, and Marlon Lindsay. This is the task force. So we have dubbed the initiative STEM for Growth, because we are convinced that there will be no real growth in Jamaica if we cannot prepare our workforce to function in a digital economy. Also, as the private sector is the engine of growth in any economy, we believe that each initiative must be private sector driven. The mission of STEM for Growth Task Force is to lend the leadership to the thrust for embedding STEM education at all levels of the education system, with a major focus on teacher education and support. The National STEM Center is to be sited at the Mico University College, will serve as a nucleus for collaboration with other teaching institutions, schools, and business to improve the performance of our students in the science and mathematics. I believe the Mico University College is well placed to lead the charge, because that institution has been focusing for several years on STEM education for regional teachers. Our objective today is to create a vision of Jamaica as a STEM nation, and to enlist your input and support for the practical steps we need to take to make this a reality. Why should the private sector get involved? Two main reasons. The implications for the future competitiveness, we need to innovate and create value. We can't see this as an expenditure. We need to see it as an investment in our business. The private sector is the engine of growth. If we don't have the skilled, qualified people who are analytical, innovative, creative, we won't get an increase in production and profits. We can't win. Thank you. We can't win without trained and skilled people in our business. We won't get far. This is too big an issue to leave up to an under-resourced educational system. Based on the pace with which business in other countries are adopting technology and innovation, we realize that we can't wait for a STEM initiative that is going to grow organically and benefit only a few. So we will hear today how to develop the economy, how economies in the United States and in India are developing through STEM. And we are not talking about creating an elite set of mathematicians or scientists. We believe in STEM for all. It is about giving our people the tools to think creatively and solve problems at every level. You will hear from Dr. Albert Benjamin, who will tell you more about the plans for National STEM Center at Michael. And you will hear from Marlon Lindsay, who will give you a glimpse of what Jamaica could be like as a STEM island. We will then have some time for questions and discussion. You will hear from the, from the Indian High Commissioner, who will give you his views as well. We want to hear from you about how we can build momentum moving forward. This is a major initiative, ladies and gentlemen. We will require collective input and creativity, but if we can step up to the plate and provide the required leadership, I believe that Jamaica can become a powerhouse in STEM. In the same way we dominate in athletics and the arts. In closing, I thank you for your interest and look forward to a lively discussion. Thank you very much.